What's going on, champion?
There you go, my guy, my twin. What's up, twin?
What's happening, man? How you feel? I was just about to go in that story, man, because, man, listen, I was just about to say, man, I've been working in boxing, man, for over 20 years now, man, and it's funny because I remember the day it was mutual friends of ours, Mary Muhammad and Mahasan Scott. They said, "Oh man, you look just like Yoel's son," and from that day forward, the floodgates just opened. When I say that, I'm saying, Zab, when I tell you, not one fight, not two fights, but every single fight that I've worked since then, somebody, whether it was a fan or whether it was somebody in boxing, they came up to me and was like, "Yo, man, you look just like Zab. You didn't know that?" I mean, I would actually leave the house consciously saying to myself, "Yo, you know what? Let's see if I get by tonight without somebody saying that."
But did it work for you?
I mean, it's Nah, ain't no dabba dabba. It ain't so much working for me. It's just so much. It is what it is. You know what I mean? It's not like you're an ugly dude. It ain't like you're a bum dude or whatever. You my man. You know what I mean? So basically, I guess I'll say it worked. Right? It worked. First, before we even start, man, let me ask, with the COVID thing and everything like that, how is your family and how's everything going with you?
Family's good. Everything with me is going well. Just trying to stay out the way. I'm dealing with this situation like everyone else is. Trying to just figure it out day by day.
It's funny, and I'll get on and I get back off it again. As far as like the twin thing or whatever, I'm looking at this right now, and I see a similarity, but at the same time, I just don't see it how people have said it. But I worked your fight in Trenton a couple years ago. And your mother walked up to me and your mother said, "Boy, who's your daddy?" She said, "Because you damn sure look like one of my sons." You know what I mean? From that moment on, it was like it shut down. I said, I'm not even gonna argue about it anymore. It is what it is. You know what I mean? But listen, former IBF junior welterweight champion. Also, you are the very last undisputed welterweight champion. I mean, that's a distinction that you have right now, and the way these guys we have some good champions at welterweight right now, but as far as unifying that belt and becoming the man in the division, who you are, hold that hand up because you are the one who hold that distinction. Do you see that happening again? Like, in other words, like, well, every record and everything is meant to be broken, so it's going to happen at some point in time. But do you see these guys getting together and that becoming to fruition right now?
You know what? Like I said, I did it. It was a great accomplishment. It's a very prestige and huge accomplishment, and I would hope so that these guys get a chance to, put their skills on the line and become the undisputed champion of the world. It's a great feeling. So yes, I hope that one of these guys break the record. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of great guys out there. Earl Spence, Terrence Crawford. I mean, those are my guys.
And then it's a definite. A welterweight division has always been a talent-rich division anyway. And when you fought, and even now, it's a talent-rich division. But like I said, you fought and you became the undisputed champion. And these guys, they hold splintered belts, and it's like some people say Errol is the best, some people say Crawford is the best, and some people still say that Pacquiao is up there. I mean, we won't find out until these guys finally meet with each other. But because we're kind of short on time, I wanted to get into your relationship with 2020 Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame inductee Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker. I knew Pernell, but my relationship with Pernell was, it was like, yeah, we gave each other pounds and said what's up, so on and so forth. But you, although you weren't blood, but you guys were brothers.
Mhm.
Tell me how, and as a matter of fact, at one point in time, you were known as like the Pernell Whitaker with pop. That's what they used to call you, because Pernell was outclassing people, but he wasn't knocking out many people. You yourself, you was putting people on their backs. And you've trained with Pernell, and you know Pernell from a personal level. Tell us about Pernell, and tell us who don't know Pernell like you knew Pernell. Tell us about Pernell.
First of all, he
Because having Wi-Fi issues.
You got me now? You got me?
Yeah, there you go. Go ahead.
Pernell Whitaker, one of the best welterweight fighters of our era, of our generation, of our time. The slickest guy that I know. I mean, Pernell Whitaker gave me my first pro debut shot. I was a co-main event for Pernell Whitaker, September 20th, 1996, in Miami, Florida. I opened up for him. I got a second round knockout, and that was my first time making the transition from amateurs to the professionals. And people, amateurs might say, "Oh, I'm ready for the pros," but it's very different when you get in there. I mean, no headgear, smaller gloves, no shirt. I mean, like when you in there, you feel cold and so many people watching you, and I didn't know what to expect, so I prepared myself for everything. I was ready for everything, and the guy came out there and threw a punch at me. And what really got me sharp was some advice that Pernell Whitaker told me. He said, people would come in the game, they laugh and they joke. He said, but when somebody throw a punch at your head with bad intentions, that's when you wake up and you get, sharp. And that's what he always told me, be sharp. And when they feel like that pressure coming on, go to work. And when I came out, I remember that the guy threw the right hand at me and I flipped it. And something just got into me like let's take him out. Like, and I just walked him down. About a second round, the guy was out of there.
I mean, but you've had a very, very close relationship. Even sort of a mentorship with not only Pernell, but you had with Mike Tyson. But again, I want to talk about Pernell. First of all, like I said, I had a relationship with Pernell only from the aspect of just, like I said, behind by, he recognized me when he saw me, that type of deal. But at the same time, you were his brother. And, everybody has that moment in their life where they know where they were. They know how they felt when something happened. With a lot of people, that's 9/11. 9/11, people know where they were, so on and so forth. I know how I felt when I heard the news of Pernell's passing. But you know what? When I heard of his passing, the first people that I thought of was you and Jolene. Because I know how close you guys were with Pernell. How did you feel when you got that news?
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. I woke up. It was early in the morning, and somebody texted me and said, Pernell died last night. And I was like, he sounds stupid. And then I cut my thing on and I Googled his name and it says Pernell Whitaker. No, I'm lying. It wasn't in the news yet. So I was like, oh, he bugging. Then I was going on my Instagram and I was scrolling and it said, RP. I said, what? And I called his son. And he was like, yeah, that. I was like, oh my God. I was hurt, man. I'm still hurt. I mean, I went to the funeral. I was there, I could never miss that. I mean, he gave me big break in boxing, a huge life learning lesson in the ring, out the ring. And, I'm forever grateful for that and gracious for that. You know what I mean? And I know someday we'll probably see each other again. But, until then, it's my homie. I'm gonna hold his name down. And can't nobody name like that around me. They know that. That's
Oh
all.
yeah, oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt. I understand that. But it's funny. A funny Pernell Whitaker story. He trained. I want to say Brock. At Bulwark Hall, and after the fight, they were in the dressing room, and then after that, he came out, and then somebody snagged him up, and somebody wanted to just interview him, and the guy who wanted to interview him, he just kept saying how uh he was asking Pernell, because at that time Floyd was, the man in boxing, and he was saying how, what's your take on, if you would have fought Floyd, like what would have happened? What would have happened? And you saw Pernell, he tried to be as modest as he could, and he was saying how, he said, what did he say? He said, "Oh, the kid's a good kid, man. He's a great fighter." Da 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 da. But the guy was like, "No, what would have happened if you guys would have fought?" And Pernell was, like I said, he was trying to back off of it, but then all of a sudden, Pernell looked up at the guy and he said, "Listen, check it out." He said, "He know what would have happened." He said, "That's all that matters. Is he know what would have happened that night." You know what I mean? And that was Pernell to me, or whatever way. It was a thing of but like Floyd says, he's TBE. I never really heard Pernell say he was TBE. Pernell said he was Pernell. You know what I mean? I'm one of the best, and you could take it or leave it. The fans, can be judges themselves. And
His favorite thing was who do it better than me.
Exactly. But let me ask you, since you've been in the ring with both of them, I'm not going to ask you who would have won, but you've been in the ring with both. And you've trained with both.
I mean, before you even go on, it's not even a comparison. I mean, Pernell taught me and Floyd fight. You know what I'm saying? Before we even turned professional, before the Olympics, we was in training camp with Pernell, with me, Floyd, Zaire, Raheem. You know what I'm saying? We used to train, because it used to be us three. We used to train with Duvas, and, Pernell taught us so much stuff. He used to take us shopping, buy us stuff, all kind of stuff, man. So when you ask me who's a better fighter, Pernell Whitaker, or who would have won the fight?
No, I actually wasn't going to ask you who's the better fighter. I was going to ask you, since you've been in the ring with them, you know each of their attributes. Mm-hmm. What attribute did Pernell have that would have offset Floyd? What attribute did Floyd have that would have offset Pernell, that would have gave him his issues?
Pernell, 100% definitely his defense counterpuncher. That was definitely would offset Floyd, you know what I'm saying? By him slipping, and then countering, being able, like, Pernell was a slick, sharp, fast counterpuncher. He could counterpunch on drop of a dime with both hands, you know what I'm saying? A lot of fighters can do that. A lot of fighters, when you watch them counterpunch, they only counterpunch with their main hard hand. Either their right-hander is a straight right hand, or, however they throw a right-hander, or if they're left-hander, it's a left hand, you know what I'm saying? You really find good fighters that know how to, you know what I'm saying, rock off this side, come out with a strong boom, not a knockout shot. And Pernell was good with that. You know what I'm saying? As far as Floyd, I think probably Pernell. Yeah, Pernell would have got frustrated with his movement. Floyd is a very good psychological planner. You know what I'm saying? He do his movement just enough to make you get mad. As soon as you get mad, then he'll come in a little bit, mess up a little bit, then he'll get the movement again. But the fight, no matter what, is always going to be on the road. You know what I'm saying? I remember the reason why I know Pernell Whitaker doesn't like styles like that, because I was with him when he fought Hurtado. And Hurtado was that Cuban style. He was moving. And Pernell, even in training camp, when Pernell was training with the fighters that was doing, emulating his style, he was like, "Oh, I hate this shit." He knew, like, I don't like fighters that move. And Pernell chopped him down and knocked him out. So, like I said again, in that fight, Floyd, take nothing from me. Personally, I don't even make comparisons like that. I don't think about stuff like that, because it's unrealistic. Like, people ask me, "What about if you had a chance to fight Sugar Ray Robinson?" What would he's an idol. I mean, he's a legend to me. He's a, he paved the way before me. He allowed me to be able to do the things, walk and talk and say the things that I've done. So how can I even compare myself to even say I wouldn't even fight a guy or even what would happen if I fought a guy? Like, I don't know. I'd be like, oh, what if you fought Ray Leonard or you fought Whitaker? I said, I wouldn't. That wasn't my era. That wasn't my time, and it just wouldn't happen.
It's funny because Floyd, I think Floyd, whether I think he's PBE or not, I think he's one of the best. Definitely he's probably the best in his era, and he's one of the best of all time. But one of the knocks against him, which I always thought it was an unfair comparison because they always say that he runs too much, as if like he's supposed to stay there and get hit. You know what I mean? But at the same time, Pernell was one of those guys that could actually stand right in front of you and still make you miss.
Right.
And that's one of the things that why, I personally, if you ask me, like, if you compare the two from not so much a great standpoint, but if you compare the two as far as styles go, you have to give him credit because how can you stand right in front of that man or your opponent and make them miss? Or I remember when he fought Oscar De La Hoya, and Jim Lampley was saying, and I remember at the end of one of the rounds, Oscar threw a flurry, and he's like, and Oscar throws a flurry, and Roy Jones, he said, and all those punches missed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you wouldn't have known that by the way Jim Lampley was saying, and then Oscar De La Hoya ends the round with the flurry, and but he made him miss like crazy. I mean, and
that's Jim Lampley or Larry Merchant.
No, Larry Merchant said, Jim Lampley was the one that was big upping Oscar De La Hoya's punches, saying, how he threw the flurries. But it was Larry Merchant that was the one that said, and all those punches missed.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's one thing that always stood out to me because even before that fight, I always saw how he made fighters miss, and it's one of those things of you can't it's not bragging when you go out there and you do what you say you're going to do. And when he would go out there and he would outclass opponents to the degree where his greatness, I mean, him being inducted into the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame was like a no-brainer. When he came up on the ballot, I just knew that he was definitely going to have his name up there. It's just a shame that we have to induct him,
When is it?
Well, it was supposed to be soon. It was supposed to be this month, but no, it's supposed to be. When was it? Well, bottom line is it's postponed because of the virus situation. So once all that's.
So you calling to tell me that such I'm a big fan of Pernell Whitaker that the Hall of Fame is letting me give Pernell Whitaker his inductee into the Hall of Fame?
Oh, I thought. So you want to be up there? I mean, we can make
stuttering. He's stuttering. I got him stuttering. I got him on the rope. Let's go. Make the commitment.
We'll definitely look into that. I know. I believe a family member was supposed to accept for him, but I know that your presence up there would definitely be one that would be a welcome addition.
I just want to be up there with it. Just they can do the stuff. I just want to be up there with him.
Oh, well, in that case, welcome. Welcome, zabjudah to the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame 2020 induction night. Definitely come on out, man, because I know for a fact that your presence will definitely be that will be definitely respected and definitely looked upon. Because like I said, a lot of people know other Pernell Whitaker, but there's a difference. And like I said, you guys are blood, but you guys are brothers. You know what I mean? And,
100%.
Definitely, your presence would definitely that was good.
All right, facts.
But like I said, I also, like I said, the whole main event stats, Jolene and everybody who I know you guys were touched by it or whatever, and like I said, you guys weren't blood, but you guys were family to the point where I just feel compelled to say, my condolences to you. You know what I mean? Because myself, I know how close you guys were. I mean, and I've lost people that are very close to me, and I just know that uh, a loss like that is something that can stay with you for a minute. You know what I mean? And the bottom line is,
Yeah, it's something that you'll never get over. I mean, something you'll never get over. I mean, the good thing that we're left with is, he was an entertainer. We can go back and watch his fights, watch his interviews, I mean, he was definitely a straightforward person. I mean, he never hold back. If he meant it, he said it. That's what even Pernell had a hard time with holding his tongue back. Like if he seen it, he want to say he gonna say it. Like, boy, you got a goddamn booger on your nose, boy. Get that goddamn booger off your face. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like Pernell's, he's different. But he was a good guy, man. Hell of a guy, man. Taught me a lot within the ring, out the ring. I take my hat up to him. I mean, and I'm just happy and proud to say that I had a chance to share a lifetime with a guy like that. You know what I mean? I shared my boxing career, and I even won. I see people forget. I won my last world title with Pernell Whitaker as my coach. I knocked out Kaiser Mabuza. Pernell Whitaker was my trainer. Yep, you know what I'm saying? So, even my 6'4", I mean, like I say, he's blessed in the room. Even with me thinking of that right now, I forgot to say, yeah, Pernell was in my corner. He was my coach when we won the 6'4" title. And that came. I was 38 years old, and that was at a time when I love the IBF and all that, but I think that they didn't think I was going to get it because the guy was from South Africa. Now I'll show you my original belt that I got from the fight. It's the inside lining was different. Like the regular belts have the white lining, right? My inside lining was tiger print.
So you're saying that they didn't
the African tiger print. They didn't think that I was going to.
They didn't think you were going to win.
I put them to sleep. Night. They couldn't dispute. Give them the belt.
That's what you're supposed to do. I mean, I remember you were in Atlantic City. How many times have you fought in Atlantic City?
Oh man, probably 8.
And I remember you on that big Don King card, the one where you defended your WBO belt or whatever. You definitely did your thing.
Yeah, I had a lot of world title defenses in Atlantic City. Yeah.
Well,
were you there that night? Were you there that night at the fight when we had the big fight with all the champions, with Holyfield and
Rock?
Okay, did you remember? Was you there at my after party?
No, I didn't come to the after party.
At my after party, it was some big brawl fight that led all the way down the escalator, all the way down to the casino floor, and that's when like I don't know. I mean, but a lot of chips got stolen. Thousands. They lost hundreds of thousands. I know the homies had it. You know what I'm saying? But it was like a lot of the chips. It was nothing you could really do with them because it was accounted for at that time. They kind of closed them down. So but a lot of people they hold them and bust them up later on that I heard of allegedly.
Well, but before we go, I want you to tell everybody how people can look up what Zab is doing nowadays. Give them all your stuff, your Instagram, everything like that.
Follow me on Instagram as zabjudah, on Twitter as superjudah. Yeah.
Well, yo, man, listen, we're definitely gonna link up soon, man, and give your moms and pops, man, a hello from me, man. Your mom's is funny, man. She is funny.
That's my girl right there, man.
She is funny, but
shout out to my Auntie Renee too. Shout out to Auntie Renee. Thank you.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Thank you, Auntie.
No
We
doubt,
owe
no
Auntie
doubt.
everybody on this call. We owe Auntie a big thank you because she made it happen.
Definitely.
I was
Definitely, Renee.
I was just on the way to take my medicine. On that note, I'll see you guys later.
Yo, man. Yo, thanks a lot, Zab, man. We'll chop it up soon, man. Yo, stay safe and be good, man.